On February 18th, 2016, we tragically lost our good friend Joey. A day that will stay with us all forever. I've heard some say you'll never get over it, but get used to it. I don't know how anybody could ever get used to something like this. Joey was one of a kind, an outstanding individual. He was a loving husband, son, a brother, and a friend. Joey and his brothers come from good stock, some of the greatest people I know, and his loss has taken a huge toll on us all. His contagious smile, firm, strong attitude, and his ability to do it all made us all look up to him. It's just the kind of man he was. It's been tough trying to figure it all out recently when life throws you a curve like this. In the weeks of losing Joey, many came together. It was amazing to see the amount of people pay their respects to Joey and the Donahues when it was needed the most. Our group decided to make a tribute in remembrance of Joey. A wood burn box call, etched by hand from the talented Eric Rice from Shine Box Calls. When I spoke with Eric, I explained to him our ideas, and he was 100% on board and said he'd get this call finished as soon as he could. You know, shortly after Joey's passing, I considered putting most of the season on hold. But after thinking about doing such a silly thing, I knew this is not what Joey would want me to do. Especially a dream of tackling a slam. He would have liked to tackle that himself. Life's just too short. Within a few weeks, the call arrived. Still being perplexed, I opened the mailbox, realizing this is more than just a box call. This could be my way to have one more hunt with Joey. I'm gonna finish that Grand Slam. We're heading to 7J, Sundance, Wyoming. As I finally came to the decision of finishing my Grand Slam, it was time for us to present the call to the family. As I unwrapped the call and we passed it around, it became a very emotional moment, seeing the fine artwork etched with such great detail of Joey. Got that right.
Go on the sides underneath and just drop a little speck.
Yeah.
Wood stain.
Try sometimes.
Try it, baby.
Yeah. Sound better than you.
One day you're gonna be with you. Yeah.
You packing my carry-on?
Anthony's gonna order another plane ticket tonight.
Man, it was going to be tough to try to convince them to let me take the call out west. But I was grateful that they happily agreed. Imagine the anxiety of an airport. Now, adding the pressure of having one trip, just one shot, to bring back a successful story in the memory of Joey. Well, I had plenty of time to think about that as we sat and waited at the gate. Good thing for my good buddy Robbie, who was there with me to help me offset the pressures of these next few days.
From Dallas to Rapid City, our flight time will be 2 hours and 7 minutes. We'll be cruising at an altitude of 32,000 feet. The Rapid City weather conditions is clear with a temperature of 59 degrees.
As we made our way into Wyoming, the pre-hunt jitters just seemed to disappear. It felt almost relaxing to see the abundance of turkeys in the area. Now all we had to do was just dial our focus for the task at hand. After we got settled into turkey camp, we went over some last-minute gear check and prepped ourselves for the first morning hunt ahead. This hunt wasn't just a typical turkey hunt like the many I've been on before. It stood for something greater than the recognition for a turkey hunting achievement. This was a dedication to a good friend that was taken too soon. Tomorrow just couldn't come soon enough. Alarms were set, and a long, sleepless night was about to begin. Well, that first morning was here before you know it. We wasted no time, grabbed all our gear, and we're out that door. Here we go. We teamed up with Mike at 7J, got a game plan together, and decided to hit a spot to try to get on a group of birds, and hopefully we can get something going. As we made it up to our first vantage point, we sat and waited for the valley to wake up. I made a point here to just relax, take it all in, and focus on what is truly important. As we made it down the valley to Glass, we came upon a group of birds that had already flown down and started their day. These birds were so preoccupied establishing their daily pecking orders, we decided to see if we can slip in tight and try to work these birds. Well, after this particular setup, we watched these birds make their way up the valley out of sight. So we found ourselves to take a stroll up another hillside to locate. Without a response there, we headed back to the ranger to get to another location to try to work a different group of birds. While at this next spot, at the top of this hill, we thought we heard a faint gobble. And if it was, we were in a pretty good spot. We decided to set up here and work them as if we were a flock making our way up through the hill. Mike would take Joey's box call above me. I would sit below and try to soft call these birds into gun range. With a few short yelps on Joey's box call, this bird answered. I don't see him. As I saw this bird's white-tipped fan come up over the hillside with the sun shining down, I felt Joey right next to me. As I squeezed that trigger and watched the bird go down, memories of Joey flashed through my head. We did it. Everything came together. We completed the Grand Slam, and we did it all for Joey. There was a bittersweet feeling to all this, knowing that when I get home, I won't be able to share the story with Joey. But I know he was with me the entire way. I remember when we got back, I had a conversation with my good friend Joe Pio about the hunt and the message this project was meant to say. You see, Joe Pio lost his daughter Hannah at just 8 years old to a sudden illness. This project related to him as well and many others, so he knew the utmost importance. I'll never forget the words that Joe told me that day. He said, "The biggest fear of a parent that lost a child is the fear that people will forget." It's our responsibility to never forget. Always remember. Carry the memories of those we lost each day, every day. We owe it to them.